So today we are wrapping up with slopes and intercepts. We're going to wrap up this unit. And your ICANN is that you can find the meaning of slopes and intercepts in real world situations. You've been doing that in each of its sections, right? Just like you did for your homework last night. Okay, you had to find the slope and then tell me what it means. But this is like the main thing is describing it. So we're putting it all together. Okay, and so your EQ is how does the slope and the intercepts affect my graph. So before we get started, let's just have a review of what these words mean. Okay, so let's start with slope. I want to know everything that we know about slope. Yes?
It's the rate of change.
Rate of change.
It shows the steepness of the line.
It shows the steepness of the line.
Y is 2 minus y1 over x 2 minus
Yes, so formula right, okay.
You can also call it m.
I can also call it M.
There's 4 different types of slopes.
And what are those 4 different types of slopes?
Negative, positive, undefined, and 0.
Negative, positive, undefined, 0, right? Okay. Now, what else? Anything else?
We can represent in 3 ways: graphical, table, and like a formula.
Yes, we can figure it out from a table, graph, or a formula. Yes?
Controls the steepness.
It controls the steepness, okay? But then we know that the slope controls the steepness, but then how do we tell, like, what's steeper? Like, what are we looking for?
The absolute value.
The absolute value of the slope, right? So even though it's negative, that doesn't really affect the steepness because we look at the positive part of it because it's the absolute value. The negative part is just going to make it go up, down, right? Okay, so good on slope. Okay, x-intercept.
The x-intercept, the amount it is when y is 0.
When y is 0, okay, what else? Over here? Oh, you're good, I know, but we need some other people talking over here at this table. No one's volunteered at this table. What else?
It's when the line goes to the x-axis.
When my line goes to the x-axis. What else?
0 function.
It's the 0 of the function. Good job for x-intercept, right? How do we find the x-intercept from an equation? Because we can't see, right, where it's graphed, we don't have a graph. So how can we find it from an equation?
You cancel out the y.
How do I cancel out my y, though? What do you do?
By multiplying it by 0.
You plug in 0 for y, okay? And then, yes, you do get rid of it because anything times 0 is 0. And you're solving for what variable? X, okay? Good on x-intercept? Okay, y-intercept. What do we know about y-intercepts?
It's when the line crosses the y-axis.
Line crosses the y-axis. Jacobo?
The y-intercept happens when the x is 0.
Y-intercept happens when the x is 0. Okay?
In order to get y, you have to cancel out the x, which is multiplying by 0.
Okay, so you plug in 0 for x, which cancels it out, and you're solving for your y. Okay? How can we use the y-intercept to help us when I'm graphing?
It tells you where to start.
It's my starting point, right? Okay, so that was everything mathematical about it. Okay? What we're going to do next now is focus on steepness really quick. So I'm going to give every group 3 or however many people, you're going to all get a card. Okay, does everybody have a card? Okay, so main thing yesterday, our last class, was the slope and the steepness, right? Okay, so among your group, all your members, I want you to put them in order from least steep to most steep. Okay, and I'm going to go around and I'm going to check them. Least steep to most steep. Go.
Wait, I'm sorry.
Oh, it's most. Least to most. Least to most. Perfect, you're good. Okay?
Oh, this is.
groups down.
Where's my Where's my Where's my lease?
Okay, I have two, who's remaining? Two groups, right? What's the slope of this? How does that line look? So then what's my slope? Okay, I've cleared every group, right? Okay, so whenever you were arranging your cards, what were you looking at in order to put them in order from least to greatest for steepness? What were we looking at?
Which ones could have been like 0 or
Which one's going to be 0 and defined, but what are you only looking at?
The coefficient of x, if it's written in some intersection.
The coefficient of x, right? Which is your what? Slope. We're looking at my slope. So does my y-intercept affect my steepness at all? No, right? It has nothing to do with how steep my graph is going to be. So the y-intercept is irrelevant, right? It's just there. So we're basically focusing in on my slope. Now it doesn't matter if it's negative or positive. Okay, why not?
Because you're looking at the absolute value.
Because you're looking at the absolute value. Okay? Everybody feel good about that? Okay, so what you're going to do now, and it's going to be a competition from your other group, from your other classes. Everybody has a card, right? Okay. Okay. Everybody in this class is going to have to get in order from least to greatest steepness. Okay? Now, if they have the same steepness, you stand behind each other. My least steep is going to be right here facing this way. Everybody's going to be facing this way. My most steep, my steepest graph is going to be at the other end. Does everybody understand the order? Least, steepest. Okay? Least to greatest. And it's going to be a competition with your other class. See what the time is. Each person, you grab your card. That's your card. Wait, I haven't said okay? On your mark. Get set. Go. 180.
I'm 10.
I'm 25. No.
When you think you're ready, let me know. I'm going to check it.
Is everybody in the line? Scoot down.
Oh, really? You have to.
It's okay. You're good.
Face this way so you can have more room.
You can't face this way. One behind us.
Okay, turn around and face that wall now. I'll go on that side and check. Are y'all ready for me to check?
Yes.
You're good? Ready for me? Okay. You ready?
Yes.
Okay. job.
Stay behind each other.
What's what? Are y'all together? Are y'all separate? I would think about that. Help them if they're together, are they separate? Okay. It doesn't spell algebra.
What if it's supposed to?
Is it supposed to-
It's the alphabet, guys.
Oh my god, I'm scared now.
It's not in
No,
order.
it's not. No, it's not.
Oh,
She has
it's
X.
JK.
You guys put it in alphabetical order, really? Okay? Perfect. You got it at 2:03. Good job. Okay? Go ahead and sit down. 2:03.
Did it spell
Write that down.
And I got really scared. I was like, oh my god.
I'll tell y'all next class. It's really close. Okay, so what were we looking at once again? Order again from least to greatest. Absolute value. Now, which ones are a little bit more tricky when they're in what format? A fraction, because then you have to think about, okay, what's the decimal equivalency to help you, right? So we had a lot of 1.5, 1.5, all of that you had to put in order. And that's why we had a little mix-up right there on, I think it was 1.5 and 1.25. I think that was the mix-up that we had right there. Okay? Now, where would this card go? X equals 3. So what type of line does it make? X equals 3. Go look in 5.1 notes in your global. What type of line would X equals 3 produce? X equals 3. 5.1. Okay, it would produce a vertical line.